The warm evening of July 26th marked a turning point in the town of Norcross, Georgia. 16-year-old Susana Morales, a beacon of youthful energy and warmth, left her home with a promise to return shortly. Her words echoed in the ears of her family as minutes transformed into agonizing hours, and her absence began to weigh heavily on the hearts of those who loved her. As the night deepened, Susana's phone fell silent, and her digital footprint disappeared, leaving a void filled with uncertainty. Days turned into weeks, and the community found itself engulfed in a relentless search for answers. The once vibrant streets of Norcross were now filled with whispers of concern and fear. Susana's family, once hopeful, faced the harrowing reality of heartbreak. Their daughter, a spirited high school student known for her infectious laughter and kindness, had vanished without a trace. The community rallied, driven by a shared sense of urgency. Friends and family equipped as deafening. No messages, no calls, no clues to unravel the mystery of Susana's disappearance. Months passed, and the town was jolted by a discovery that would forever alter its fabric. Susana's body was found in a secluded area along Highway 316. The revelation shattered the fragile hope that had kept her family and friends afloat. It was a devastating blow that left the community grappling with questions. Then, who could commit such a heinous act? What transpired in those last moments of her young life? As the investigation unfolded, these questions loomed large, casting a pall over the town. Those who knew Susana spoke of her radiant spirit and her unwavering love for her family, especially her mother and sister. Her life, brimming with potential, was unjustly extinguished by an unknown hand. The last sighting of Susana was at the Sterling Glen Apartments, a familiar gathering place for her and her closest friends. That night, laughter filled the air as they relished the joys of a summer evening. Among them were Morales Castillo and Axel Argosa, Susana's boyfriend. They recalled her vibrant smile and the lightness in her step as she bid them farewell, embarking on what should have been a short journey home. The tragedy of Susana Morales serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. It compels us to reflect on the preciousness of each moment and the enduring impact of a life cut short, or justice and closure. Their connection was seamless, a bond forged through endless conversations and digital exchanges. To him, she was a beacon of kindness, a soul whose warmth enveloped everyone she encountered. On the fateful evening of July 26, 2022, Susana embarked on a familiar journey home from Sterling Glen, a path she had trodden countless times, a mere 2 miles through the quiet suburban landscape she knew intimately. The air was still, the evening routine, as surveillance cameras captured Susana's serene silhouette near her apartment complex. This image, seemingly mundane, would later become a haunting testament, the last visual record of her existence. As night fell, attempts to reach her were met with silence. Initially, her family clung to the hope of a benign explanation, perhaps an impromptu sleepover with friends or a momentary lapse in timekeeping. Yet as the night wore on and the silence persisted, unease burgeoned into dread. Maria Brand, Susana's mother, instinctively sensed the discord in the stillness. Susana was not one to vanish without a trace, nor was she one to dismiss the calls of her loved ones. By midnight, Maria's concern transformed into a desperate quest for answers. She reached out to Susana's classmates and anyone who might have glimpsed her after she left home, calm and seemingly content. The breakthrough came not through human sight, but technology. The Life 360 app, a digital tether to Susana's last known location, revealed a chilling truth. Her phone had veered miles off her usual route, its signal echoing from the vicinity of Highway 316, a place alien to her daily routine, a place she would never venture toward alone, a puzzle piece that did not fit. In the wake of this discovery, a community mobilized. Friends, neighbors, to Nation. They scoured parks, traversed back roads, and combed through wooded trails, each step fueled by the hope of finding Susana. Yet days turned to weeks, and the mystery deepened. The quiet neighborhood, once a bastion of safety, was now overshadowed by fear and uncertainty. How could such a vibrant, compassionate 16-year-old simply vanish? The search, relentless and exhaustive, was led by Susana's family. Her mother Maria and her sister Jasmine Perez bore the torch of hope, their resolve unyielding. They worked tirelessly alongside investigators, knocking on doors, pursuing every whisper, every rumor, no matter how tenuous. The emotional strain was immense, a weight that grew heavier with each unanswered day. Yet, amidst the sorrow and exhaustion, Maria's hope remained steadfast, a flickering flame in the encroaching darkness. The days stretched into an unending vigil, each moment an echo of Susana's absence. Her story, a tapestry of love and loss, became a poignant reminder of the fragility of life, the thin line between the ordinary and the extraordinary. As her family and community continued their search, their hearts carried the hope that one day the silence would break and Susana would be found. In the end, it is this hope that binds humanity, the belief that even in the darkest hours, light may yet be found. In the quiet corners of a community gripped by grief, a mother's anguished plea echoed through the hearts of many. Her daughter, Susana, had disappeared without a trace. For months, hope was tethered to a slender thread, a digital beacon in the form of the Life 360 app. It pinpointed Susana's last known location to a desolate stretch of Highway 316, a place unfamiliar to her family, far removed from the warmth of home. Search efforts were relentless. The area was combed repeatedly by search teams comprised of police officers, volunteers, and concerned citizens. Each sweep of the terrain only deepened the mystery, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Among those tirelessly pursuing the truth was Lieutenant Xavier Biggers of the Gwinnett County Police Department. His resolve was unwavering, shadows of forgotten cold cases. The mission was singular and clear: discover the fate of the missing girl. Months passed, each day a testament to the family's endurance and the community's solidarity. Lieutenant Biggers, a man steeled by duty, found himself emotionally entwined with Susana's story. In court, his professional facade faltered, his voice betraying the blend of exhaustion and heartbreak that had become a constant companion. The bond he had formed with Susana's family was palpable, a testament to the human spirit's capacity for empathy and connection amidst tragedy. 7 harrowing months of silence and uncertainty culminated on February 6, 2023. The nightmare that had enveloped the community reached a devastating crescendo. A passerby, traversing the wooded fringes near Highway 316 in Decula, Georgia, stumbled upon a grim discovery. What initially appeared as mere debris revealed itself as human remains, a chilling testament to the dark narrative that had unfolded. The area, overgrown and remote, lay approximately 20 miles from Susana's last known location at the Sterling Glen Apartments. The confirmation that the remains were indeed those of 16-year-old Susana Morales shattered the fragile hope that had sustained her family and supporters. The agonizing wait for answers was replaced by a profound grief, a communal mourning enveloping the town. Investigators swiftly descended upon the scene, meticulously gathering evidence in the hopes of unraveling the circumstances of Susana's tragic end. There was an air of grim determination as they sought to understand how her life had been violently cut short. Among the findings were indications of foul play, including evidence suggesting the use of a weapon. Yet, the location of her remains only served to deepen the enigma. Why had Susana been brought to such an isolated area? How had her abductor managed to evade detection? These questions haunted the investigators as they painstakingly reconstructed the timeline of events. It became increasingly apparent that the perpetrator possessed a chilling degree of cunning and forethought. The investigation's intensity surged, every clue and connection scrutinized with renewed vigor. It was during this heightened state of inquiry that a breakthrough finally emerged, shedding light on the dark corners of this tragic tale. The community, bound by shared sorrow and resilience, waited with bated breath for justice to be served, for the truth to finally bring them closure. In the end, Susana's story is a somber reminder of life's fragility and the profound impact of loss. It speaks to the enduring strength of those left behind, their capacity to hope and fight for justice, even in the face of overwhelming sorrow. As the narrative of Susana Morales unfolds, it beckons us to reflect on the impermanence of life and the enduring quest for truth and justice in a world shadowed by uncertainty. The intricate web of justice, trust, and betrayal is often spun in the most unexpected places, woven with threads of truth and deception. In a small community where safety was entrusted to those sworn to protect, a chilling narrative unfolded, casting shadows over the familiar visage of a local guardian. Miles Bryant, a police officer from the quiet town of Doraville, found himself at the heart of a harrowing investigation when the disappearance of a young girl, Susana Morales, pointed ominously towards him. Susana's last known whereabouts were traced through the Life 360 app, a digital lifeline her family used to ensure her safety. The app's data revealed a troubling detail. Her phone's final signal emanated from the vicinity of an apartment complex, the very place where Officer Bryant resided. The signal then vanished, only to be later linked to the desolate wooded area where her remains were discovered. This revelation was not a mere coincidence. It was a crucial piece of evidence that placed Bryant at the nexus of two pivotal locations in this tragic puzzle. The tale took a darker turn when Bryant's behavior came under scrutiny. In the aftermath of Susana's disappearance, his actions were fraught with peculiarity. The alleged theft from his unlocked car was met with an unusual lack of concern. For a trained officer, such indifference was an anomaly, especially when juxtaposed against the gravity of a nearby missing person case. Further testimony from Bryant's former partner, Avon Smyer, painted a picture of unease. She recounted his evasive demeanor on the night of Susana's disappearance, coupled with the discovery of fresh scratches on his vehicle and a damaged side mirror. These physical signs suggested a struggle, a possible confrontation, perhaps even with Susana herself. The narrative was becoming undeniable, a tapestry of suspicion and circumstantial evidence that intertwined Bryant's life with that of the missing girl. Investigators unearthed another layer of connection. Bryant was no stranger to Susana. Reports surfaced of a prior encounter where he had offered her and a friend a ride, an offer they had wisely declined. This interaction, seemingly innocuous at the time, now loomed large in the investigation. As the new year dawned, the weight of the evidence amassed against Bryant became insurmountable. Authorities moved decisively, arresting him in connection with Susana Morales' death. Initially charged with concealing a death and filing a false report, these charges were but the tip of the iceberg. Prosecutors. The case of Miles Bryant is a stark reminder of the duality of human nature, where the lines between protector and predator blur. As the investigation deepened, the veneer of trust once placed in a badge and uniform was irreparably fractured. The pursuit of justice for Susana Morales became not just a quest for truth, but a reflection on the profound complexities of human morality and the haunting reality that sometimes the greatest threats emerge from within the ranks of those sworn to serve and protect. In the quiet town where shadows once concealed the truth, a storm of disbelief and sorrow descended as allegations against a trusted law enforcement officer unfolded. Bryant, revered within the community as a guardian of peace, now stood at the heart of a tragic narrative that began with the concealment of a death and the filing of a false report, only to spiral into accusations of murder and theft. His presence at the scene of the crime and the revelations about his movements on that fateful night wove a chilling tapestry of betrayal. The gravity of the charges reverberated throughout the community, a somber reminder of the fragility of trust. The shock was palpable. Bryant, a figure once synonymous with safety, now symbolized a profound breach of faith. By the dawn of June 2024, the weight of months of exhaustive investigation and poignant testimonies culminated in the trial of Bryant for the kidnapping and murder of 16-year-old Susana Morales. The courtroom became a crucible of tension, where every nuance at painstaking detail. Yet it was the emotional undercurrents that truly captivated those present. The heartbreak was inescapable. Testimonies from Susana's family pierced the courtroom's stoic facade. Maria Braun, Susana's mother, spoke with an unwavering yet sorrow-laden voice, narrating the excruciating journey of losing her daughter and enduring the agonizing months before her remains were found. Her words cast a profound silence, each sentence a testament to her immeasurable grief. Jasmine Perez, Susana's sister, provided insight into their desperate search for answers, revealing how technology, through the Life 360 app, guided them to Susana's last known location, coincidentally, the very place her body was eventually discovered. These testimonies served as a stark reminder that behind the legal proceedings lay a family fractured by loss, yearning for closure and justice. Adding to the prosecution's arsenal was the testimony of Avon Smear, Bryant's former girlfriend. Her account, described by prosecutors as devastating, painted a portrait of Bryant's erratic behavior during the period of Susana's disappearance. She recounted observing unexplained scratches on his truck and a broken mirror, alongside implausible explanations that only deepened the suspicion. As the trial unfolded, a procession of police detectives stepped forward, each adding another piece to the complex puzzle of Bryant's descent from protector to alleged perpetrator. The evidence amassed against him painted a harrowing picture of a man accused of violating the very laws he once vowed to uphold. Lieutenant Xavier Biggers, the officer who spearheaded the investigation, took the stand, embodying the emotional burden of the case. As he recounted the relentless pursuit of justice for Susana Morales, his composure faltered, and tears betrayed the stoic exterior. His voice, heavy with the weight of unfulfilled hope, trembled as he shared the soul-crushing realization that Susana would never return home. In this tale of tragedy and betrayal, the community grappled with the dissonance between the ideals of justice and the reality of human fallibility. As the trial drew to a close, the echoes of the courtroom lingered, a somber reflection on the dual nature of humanity, capable of both profound compassion and unimaginable cruelty. In the pursuit of justice, the anguish of loss served as a poignant reminder of the enduring quest for truth and the resilience of the human spirit. Entangled in such a heinous crime, it sent tremors through the very foundation of trust upon which society is built. The trial of Miles Bryant was not merely a legal proceeding. It was an unraveling of the complex layers of human deceit and the dark shadows that can lurk behind a veneer of authority. The narrative began with the quiet but persistent determination of investigators who, despite the odds, refused to let Susana Morales' disappearance become another unsolved mystery. Their pursuit of the truth was relentless, and it was this unwavering commitment that eventually exposed the chilling details of the case. As investigators delved deeper, they encountered a web of inconsistencies and half-truths that pointed towards one man, Miles Bryant. His initial cooperation during the investigation was marked by an unsettling undertone, a subtle dissonance that seasoned detectives could not ignore. His demeanor, calm to the point of indifference, was at odds with the gravity of the situation. The prosecution's case was meticulously constructed digital evidence provided by the Life 360 app, a modern tool that, in this instance, became a silent witness to the crime. It mapped Bryant's movements with an accuracy that technology alone could provide, placing him at the scene where Susana's life was brutally ended. His explanation for his whereabouts was further undermined by the peculiar circumstances surrounding his missing firearm. Reporting his Glock 19 as lost just a day after Susana's disappearance seemed more than coincidental. The lack of urgency in retrieving a weapon that should have been of great concern to any law-abiding officer was a glaring anomaly. Investigators began to see this as a potential smokescreen, a deliberate attempt to mislead and misdirect. The forensic evidence collected from the crime scene painted a grim picture. It was not just the physical remnants that told the story, but the corroborative accounts from witnesses who unwittingly placed Bryant where he claimed he had never been. Their testimonies were the threads that, when woven together, formed the fabric of truth. When the verdict was finally delivered, it resonated with the weight of justice served, yet it also echoed with the sorrow of lives irrevocably altered. Miles Bryant, once a guardian of the law, was now condemned by it, his actions deemed unforgivable by a jury that had seen through his facade. The courtroom, a place of judgment, became a theater of raw emotion as the sentence was pronounced. Life imprisonment without parole, a fitting conclusion for a man whose betrayal of trust had cost a community its innocence and a family their cherished daughter. For the Morales family, the verdict was a bittersweet moment. It acknowledged their loss and validated their grief, yet it could not restore what had been taken. Susana's absence would forever be a void that no justice could fill. The case of Susana Morales stands as a poignant reminder of the fragility of trust and the hidden dangers that can reside within those we entrust with our safety. It underscores the imperative of vigilance and the enduring quest for truth, for in the pursuit of justice, we find not only accountability, but also the hope of preventing such tragedies in the future. In the end, the story of Susana Morales is a testament to resilience, a call to remember, and a challenge to ensure that her legacy is one of change and awareness. When the truth emerged, revealing the person responsible for her untimely demise, it reverberated they all was profound, carving deep wounds that time alone may never mend. Susana's narrative transcends mere recollection of sorrow. It serves as a clarion call to action, urging a transformation in how society safeguards its most vulnerable members. Her tragic end underscores an imperative to hold those who wield power to the loftiest echelons of integrity and accountability. In the wake of Susana's story, we are reminded of the essential virtues of awareness, compassion, and vigilance. These are not mere ideals, but necessities that can indeed save lives. Justice is not a privilege, but a right that must be fervently pursued, regardless of the obstacles or the stature of those who might impede its course. As we reflect on Susana's legacy, a profound truth emerges. The enduring power of her story lies in its capacity to inspire change, to ignite a collective commitment to justice, and to embolden a relentless pursuit of truth. Through this, Susana's memory becomes a beacon, illuminating the path toward a more just and compassionate world.